It's a normal swap. Hello there, this is my No Hope AR deck that I've been running and testing here for a little while. So, just as a heads up before going into this, good thing to note is the gun that we're going to be using here is the range rifle. And with the range rifle, it's really going to be bringing a lot to the table. And we got a card in here that specifically works off the fact that it's a semi-automatic fire weapon. Just so you know, though, one thing that I know many people don't have turned on, but is super helpful, is a setting called All Weapons Full Auto. In order to run this build effectively, I'd recommend putting this on. It is a slower fire rate than if you were to manually tap it as fast as it could be, but this has saved my fingers. I've loved the range rifle since launch, and after a while of not having this setting on, I noticed like my fingers would start to cramp and it was just painful. So turn this thing on. It's going to save your fingers. You're going to find it much easier, much nicer on yourself. Now going back to the deck, we got, to start off, Copper Scav and Money Grubbers. Best decon cards in the game. Like, straight up, unless like there's something funky going on with Lucky Pennies, this is like the best econ in the game. Economy makes your life just so much easier by having better quality items and fully utilizing them throughout the map. It's just going to be so much greater. It's going to allow you, empower you to do what you need to do. Now, because we're going to be using the range rifle, and I like this in all my decks, just a bit of extra mobility with the Run Like Hell. I think it's the best mobility card in the game. It's better than Mad Dash because it doesn't actually cut off your sprinting time. It doesn't like reduce the amount that you're able to sprint. And then even when you're not sprinting, you're still moving faster. So greater mobility overall than Mad Dash. But Mad Dash just gives like 5% more sprint speed. Not that much of a difference. Recommend taking Run Like Hell over it. Next we got Glass Cannon. Best damage card in the game. Plus 25% damage. It's its own damage category. And all at the cost of 30% health. Currently is still bugged. Where it only does minus 30% or minus 30 flat HP. That's silly. It should be fixed back to what it was soon enough here come December 6th. But still highly recommend taking it. It's such a good card. Really bumps up that damage. And with this damage being its own damage category, it's multiplicative with all the other damage categories. Bumps it up huge. Now, next we got Hyper Focused. Plus 50% weak spot damage, minus 40% move speed while shooting or melee attacking. This is a really great card. It bumps up that damage when you're hitting those weak spots. So for those specials, for those bosses, this is what's going to be helping bring in loads and loads of damage. Along with the fact that the range rifle has an innate 1.1 multiplier on weak spot. So just as a heads up, like if you normally do 100 damage with a weak shot spot, the range rifle will do 110 damage. Bonus 10%. That is additive with scopes. So if you have a purple scope on there, instead of doing 100 damage, if you have a purple 2x or a purple 4x, it will do 125 damage. So it's additive with that, but that is multiplicative with this. So, you know, that's really good. Just adding more to that other damage category, having them multiply together, that's really nice. Next we have Film Full of Lead. While shooting, gain 1% damage, 1% fire rate, 5% swap speed every 0.25 seconds. Max count of 20. Well, because it doesn't stack past 20, it physically cannot go up to 20 without, like, decaying. The only reason I have this card is because of how it interacts with semi-automatic guns. With semi-automatic guns, the stacks for film full of lead stack when you first fire. For every other gun, what you have to do is you have to be firing for those 0.25 seconds, that quarter of a second. And then after that, it gives you a stack. And then you have to be continuously firing again. And then it gives you another stack. So what happens here is essentially the semi-automatic guns that are always one shot ahead in terms of their counts. And they're easier to stack up because if you're always mag dumping, you're like getting rid of that mag super fast. You're not going to be stacking up to 20 unless you have an LMG. And even then, when you're reloading, they're going to be losing too. Versus this, because it's on the ranged rifle, every time that it fires, because it's semi-automatic, it gives you a stack. And when you're doing it, the reload speed on the ranged rifle is super good. So it picks right back up really quickly. It is, I think, the best gun in the game to run with film full of lead. And that's why we have it here. It's more so a showcase of the card and what works. And it, is pretty decent. We're going to be using this swap speed later too. Next, we have Confident Killer. When you or your team kills a mutation, gain 1% damage up to 15% until the end of the level. Super good card. Free damage as you go throughout the level. You're usually going to be like stacking this up super quickly. There's another damage category also. So it's just multiplicative damage. Really good. Patient Hunter. Every 0.75 seconds you aim down sights, increase your bullet damage by 10%, up to 30%. There's many times in this game where you are going to be aiming down an angle, but not firing, especially when holding out during a horde, when you're going to need that firepower on those mutations that are coming through, or those bosses that are coming through. This is where it truly shines. We already have the ability to common kill. Like, one-shot common kills, that's going to be done. With this build, you don't need to worry about it. This here is for when you're laying lead or preparing to lay lead into specials. You don't have to do anything fancy to keep this up. That's why it's so much better than film full of lead, is because you can just hold it down. You don't have to worry about expending any resources. Super easy to have. Next card is Large Caliber Rounds. Plus 7.5% bullet damage, another damage category here, and plus 200% bullet penetration. Just be aware, even though Patient Hunter and Large Cal say bullet damage, they're in fact different damage categories, so they're multiplicative with each other. The bullet penetration here, really going to be nice. You're going to be penning through a lot of commons, you're going to be penning through specials, and this just allows the ranged rifle to really mow down hordes. We want that extra penetration here because it brings the damage values of the first throughout the rest of them, versus otherwise it penetrates through and hits 5 targets. So it's not like you're going to be not hitting birds or not hitting alarm doors if you don't take this. If you're going to shoot that door, doesn't matter if you have this or not, it's probably not going to be penning through and hitting a 5th target before hitting that alarm. So just take it. Bullet pen, really nice. You'll love to see it. And it works out pretty well. Next we have Tactical Vest. Plus 30% rifle ammo. Plus 10% damage with ARs and LMGs. Another damage category, extra ammo. No downside. What else can you say? This is just a really good card. You want it in your deck. Next we have Ammo for All. Plus 10% team ammo capacity. Plus 3.5% team damage. This, stacked among 4 people or even 3, is one of the best damage cards in the game. Gives you team ammo capacity. Really good. With the thing above, Tac Vest, and this together, you're not going to need ammo. It's just like, you get someone with on your mark, you're pretty good on ammo throughout the entire thing. I was rarely asking for ammo at all. But even if you do ask for ammo, you got loads of it from your team here. And then stacked 4 times, 14% team damage for free. For free. As a confident killer almost. 1 percentage point off of confident killer at the start of the map. And it also gives you ammo capacity. And that's for everyone on the team. It's such a great card. Highly recommend that you take this in your builds. Especially if you can convince other people to take it. So very good. Now we have down in front. When crouching, you neither take nor deal friendly fire damage with a bonus of plus 10 HP. I've made it very clear my opinion on this card. It's amazing in No Hope. This allows for just a lot more plays to be made. It really broadens your options by being able to shoot through your teammates. You're increasing their DPS. You're increasing your DPS. It's just such a good card, and I've made my thoughts clear on it. I think almost every No Hope deck should have this in it. Now we have Admin Reload. Because of the Ranch Rifles, really good reload speed, we don't need this, but it also has really good swap speed. And especially with Film Full of Lead here, we can do a little bit more to keep our stacks up by using Admin Reload here, by swapping to another semi-automatic pistol and blasting with that. You don't need this card in. This is kind of like the first card that I would drop if you wanted something else. If you're not really a big fan of the Admin Reload playstyle, while I do think it is probably like the optimal way to play this deck, feel free to toss in anything else you want. If you want some more reload speed or something like that, if you want ADS, go ahead and toss that in. Whatever you like. This is kind of the card that I recommend swapping out first. I often run this with putting cold brew coffee in here just for that extra reload speed, swap speed, ADS speed. It's just really nice. Now, coming to the team utility of this deck, we have Experimental Stun Gun. E-Stun enhances Bash to stun nearby enemies. Refreshes after 10 seconds. Costs 30 ammo, replaces quick slot, and is a fragile effect that is removed upon taking damage. So this is really nice. It kind of is a oh shit button. There's many times where I've used this on stream, and it's there's a bruiser that just comes right out, and you're like, ah shit. What do? You go up, you bash them. They're stunned. Your team kills it. Bang, done. This is such a great card for that. Just be aware when using this, it is not a thing that you always want to keep up. Instead, you want to use it when it is necessary to use it. So, just be aware of that. And don't, destroy the team's sniper ammo capacity. But, I mean, it's pretty easy. It's sniper ammo. It's not going to be the worst in the world if you're chugging through lots of it. It's a really nice card, though. I think this is, kind of the build that it fits best in. I wish I could put this in more builds, but unfortunately not. And to round off our deck, we have Stealthy Passage. Allows disarming of door alarms, car alarms, and birds. The target will trigger if you are interrupted. Disables quick slot again, so we're doubling up on that. And then gain 25 copper per success for everyone on the team. So with this, it's just really nice to know that you're able to disable this stuff. You're able to get through it without triggering anything, and you get a little bit extra economy along with working with the same disabled slot as E-Stun. I really like it, but it's just kind of something I don't really take very often. This is a great utility card, and just helps your team traverse the map without having to set off hordes, makes it easier for your team. I really like it. And it also brings in some economy, which is really nice. Just disabling 4 of them, that is 400 copper right there. That's enough to go and buy a heal from the wall cabinet or something like that. Just bringing in that extra money is really nice, really helpful to the team. And it also allows you to kind of go through it faster instead of having to find a sleeper to go and call a horde to break down an alarm door so you don't lose Silenceless Golden. Instead, you're just there. Break down the door with Stealthy Passage and you're good. You gotta be aware, Input buffering here with Stealthy Passage. If you do it with ammo in your pocket of sniper variety, it will consume it for E-stun. So what I recommend doing is dropping your sniper ammo beforehand and then doing the same input buffer for like the birds and such, so you don't waste that sniper ammo if you care about that. Else, this is my AR build, and if you care to see it done in action or watch any of the VODs, you can go and check them out at my Twitch, which will be linked down in the description. Else, you have a good rest of your day. Let me know what you think about this, and have a good one.